Alright, got a match versus my brother from another mother, Cman. And this is actually our second match we had on this day. First one was a pretty much clean sweep by him using a SD Priority Empoleon, or at least it primarily was, and I kind of gave up about halfway or most of the way through it, and that didn't work out so hot. So it's kind of boring, so I figured we're just going to skip that one. This one's a little bit better. Anyway, I set up my Stealth Rock as he yawns, and then I decided to go out to my test Pokemon, which is going to be a Why Not. I know there's a couple of sites, Revamp the Tier, Zabra's Asylum. They're testing out to see if Why Not is really as crippling as Wobbuffet, since it can't really take hits quite as well. I've got 333 HP, since, that's just because I want to see the 333, because that's my favorite 3-digit number. So anyway, unfortunately, I get Yawn encored, so that's not good. We're going to have, Sleep Claws forced to be broken here, potentially. But I decide, well, I don't want to do that, because then we're going to have to, rematch or something, or it's going to be, I don't know. Anyway, I decide to try to avoid that, so I just go out to Grenade Man, pull off a Rapid Spin. I think this is my one with Toxic Spikes and Stealth Rock, so I think that's the one I brought. So you probably can't tell that, since I think all mine have the same HP and stuff. But anyway, oh yeah, then I had to re-plug in my DS, or actually, you may have seen it's a white DS, so it's still using my cousin's DS, so thanks to him for letting me use that. That's been a big help this past semester, since some of my DS's, my main one has been out of commission, and now my Dialga one is screwing up too, so that's not good. Got another one ordered though. Anyway, back to the match, and I have to check up on Smogon or somewhere to see if Encore goes through sub, and looks like it's going to, so I was really hoping he would pull a SD here, but he didn't, so oh well. Plus I didn't know if he knew if Encore went through sub yet, or anything like that. Anyway, I get Leaf Blade Encored, which is sorta okay, since I'm going to a guy with good physical defense, but unfortunately he gets a crit, which, doesn't do an awful amount more, but it's gonna make this tight. I get my Rock Polish up, as that's kind of the point, go to someone while you can get a free turn to set up, hopefully. And, yeah, I got my Rock Polish up and I got the sub broken. So I'm going to be faster now, and I got to go for a Head Smash and EV Training and Accuracy Rocks, and I'm able to hit it and finish that thing off. So cool. At least I knocked out one guy. And now we're going to see what he sends in. It's going to be a Titanogross, which actually is, in fact, a Metagross. So that's cool. At least it's not something with, it's really going to kill me. I was afraid of Bullet Punch, but since it would have been neutral. But I was hoping I would live it, and he just ended up going for Flash Cannon anyway. So it's a pretty interesting choice on Metagross. I assume it's... I don't think I saw a Life Orb there. I might have missed it, but I'm assuming it's either Specs or something, otherwise, it really wouldn't be dealing enough damage. But I assume Choice Specs for the time being anyway. Anyway, too bad I don't get to see more of this thing's moveset, since I need to kill it off right away. And I'm going to figure out who can do that the best, and I think that's going to be Starmie. So I'll just Surf, stab, and that should take it out. It's low enough that I'm definitely going to go for it. And I don't know if he wants to switch, but if he does, then, Surf is possibly my best option anyway. I do in fact Surf, and that finishes him off, so okay, it's going fairly well. And then he sends out the great anti-metagame Pokemon that he's got built for taking on Ubers like Latias and all that stuff. Anyway, I send out another thing that's still technically currently in Uber tier, in Inker, and it charge beams, so yeah. I was hoping even after the raise I could live this Ice Beam, because I was expecting him to switch to Ice Beam. But I really wanted to live that, and then I could Encore it, and then this guy could come in while he was stuck on Ice Beam, and yeah. Charge Beam missed, which was good, but then Toxic got cured by a Lumberry, so I guess that turn was kind of empty. Charge Beams again, which surprisingly doesn't do too much, so I guess he doesn't have too much special defense in this, or too much special attack in this thing. I'm sure he put some, but looks like it's not, well, I know it's not Choice Spec. Anyway. I got it poisoned now, so I'm going to go for my little novelty move here, Dive. This Slowking was actually originally meant to counter to Penetrator's Infernape slash, something similar to mine, as in something without Grass Knot or T-Punch, I guess. And and also I guess it's also good for countering Machamp, since it resists fighting and it's got own tempo. But due to him having rest, I know that Toxistalling is not going to work on this guy at all, so that's lame for me. I go out to Skullman. I cycle through about 3 or 4 guys here trying to figure out what's going to be the best thing to hit him with. And Shadow Sneak doesn't do too much. I go out to Grenade Man. He takes an Ice Beam. And I think later on in the match I realized I really should have kept Grenade Man alive. At the least I should have switched him out here and kept him with some hit points. I was hoping I'd live that other hit, second hit there, and maybe counter back with an EQ or something, but didn't work out that way. Anyway, Starmie is going to try for a Surf because there's not a whole lot left I can do about this thing now. It's got a couple of Charge Beam boosts. I don't have my physical attacker anymore since Hardman got killed. And I live the Charge Beam, but he lives my Surf. So Starmie goes down, and that's another guy that I really wish I would have kept alive. But I didn't. Anyway, Noir can now come in, and I'm going to be able to sneak. And hey, we're going to get to see another guy. It's not going to be a Reg Ice sweep. So, cool. See what comes in now, and it's going to be this Jumpluff. Now, I just fought one of these in a previous fight against Joey, so I'm, or at least I just narrated a previous one against Joey. So I'm, fairly confident what it's going to do. It's going to Subseed, more than likely. Although this is actually a interesting fact about this match. Like ordinarily, Cman has these wacky movesets. Like I would almost predict like Specs Jumpluff or something here, but surprisingly enough, like, I don't know, out of proportion from what I'm used to anyway, Cman had like guys that were standard to semi-standard anyway, which actually had the opposite effect. Normally when you use something that's standard, it's like it's good all around, but it's predictable. And in Cman's case, it's the opposite because I predict the unpredicted, and so the predicted is not predicted, if that makes any sense. So like Cman using standard stuff against me actually like has the same effect as him using his normal stuff against other people, so it's kind of funny. Anyway, I think that's just because I'm paranoid and like predict everything, and then I don't know how well that works out. But anyway, I didn't bother to play-by-play that portion because it's pretty standard. If you've ever seen any kind of subseeding strat, you pretty much know what's gonna go on there. But once Noir woke up, and I confirmed, that it was in fact Subseed, I went up to King, just wasting some turns here pretty much with a Curse. It's not going to help me since he's got a sub up, and I'm not going to be able to poison it, which would have been really nice, but oh well. I want King to go to sleep, because that way I can send in Noir, and Noir can Ice Punch over and over again, and eventually get it to where, it's going to die. And, I think I may have mentioned in the previous fights against Joey K that, Leech Seeding Noir is not going to be greatly effective. So we end up double switching, and check it out, he's got a Chompy Chomp. So he said Sandscar was his pride and joy, so that's awesome. He brought Garchomp, and I brought Why Not. So one of those is Uber, perhaps. I'll give you a hint, it's not the one that's out right now, lol what. And he pulls a Swords, which makes me kind of wish that I had gone for a Will-O-Wisp there, and it turns out to be a SD Yacht, so that doesn't make me too happy. But oh well. Earthquake finishes me off. Would have been really nice if I had pulled a Will-O-Wisp there. But I go at the King again, and it's pretty much hopeless at this point. I mean, it was kind of hopeless as soon as Reg Ice came out. But oh well. See if I can live an EQ, and I do, just barely. But I'm still asleep, so it doesn't matter. So that was a good game, Cman. Great to see a Garchomp, even though pretty much anything at this point could have swept me. And yeah, I'm hoping to see more Garchomps used, because Garchomp is not Uber and Latias is. And yeah, that's what Koshiro says. So anyway, good match from him, and I'll definitely have some more with him in the future. And yeah, later days.